Well, here we are, my daily diary, and what have I got to say today? Well, I'm going to work on more of a political point of view across today, or what I hear coming out. Um, there's still a lot of noise coming from various people stating the lack of protective clothing and equipment that's on the, that's not getting to the people on the front line. There's a lot of noise going on that we haven't done enough as a government, or we've acted too late in certain cases. We could have been organising these ventilators in January instead of much later. We should have been better prepared and all this sort of stuff. And I think that's what I can hear from one side of the political angle, let's call it. Then there are others on the other side that are saying the government's just done too much. It's closed down the country for something that's yes, it's horrible. It's a pandemic. It's horrible, but it could be dealt with without having to close down the country, even if a few more people were going to die, or the NHS could. So there's that side of the argument as well. In fact, I listened to somebody, one of my contacts, who made the comment about how the government's behaved too erratically. He said it's like a house that's been infested with mice, and the way of solving the problem was burn the house down. I thought that was amusing, if and made the point very clear. What do I think? Well, I think, as I've said right from the beginning, I think we're dead on track. I think the government is taking the right actions at the right time. Although I'm seeing all these numbers going up, they're not a surprise. They're what was expected at the moment. What I see going on in the background, what I see in terms of what's being reported on, particularly from the BBC, is good, positive stuff, like the Nightingale Hospital that's opening up in London, and the ones that are opening up in Birmingham and Manchester, and in Glasgow in the very near future. I think it's all fantastic stuff. It's horrific to hear the news of all these deaths. Of course it is, and it's, particularly these young people as well that are also passing away. But I think that's the point. We've got to take the advice of the experts that are telling us, stay inside. If you have to go out, be well aware of people around you, so there's no danger of picking up the disease or spreading the disease. Wash your hands regularly and just hang in there. That's what we've got to do. And I don't understand why we don't just do it. I think we are doing it, most of us actually. I think we are. I think we'll beat this, and it'll be over, hopefully, by the end of the year. Hopefully we do get the magic recipe that can safeguard everybody against this virus going forward. But look, I think we have to be clear, and we have to change our ways and values a little bit into how we live and how we work. I mean, some of the positives I see from just looking outside the window and looking at those clear skies with hardly any no aircraft. I've seen no aircraft flying around up there. The skies are perfectly clean. I was amazed when I opened my curtains this morning downstairs here. There was a heron, literally, in the garden. Obviously it came out of Poolsbrook Pond area, but it was a heron in the garden. The nature is opening up here. It's all coming together. So there are nice positive things that are taking place. What's it's doing to the economy, I agree. I think it's desperate, and I think there's going to be millions. I think it will be millions of companies that are going to be badly affected and probably aren't going to be around in another 6 months. you know, that's it. It's because things are not moving quickly enough for them. I mean, I hear the reports that people have taken the note of what the Chancellor has laid out in plans, and they must go to the banks, and banks are saying things like, well, you don't qualify because your business isn't viable. Well, no business is really viable in this current scenario, so I think that's a stupid thing to say anyway. I think it was an events business. You know, somebody who puts on events with marquees and does big events, corporate events and weddings and all kinds of other things. Okay, and obviously his business goes from being very, very good to nothing. So he goes to the bank to get his facility to help keep him in business, paying his staff and doing what he has to do to cover his costs. And he's advised that, well, his business isn't viable in the current. Of course it's not. I mean, what? But I'm sure this is just sort of teething problems, and it will, I'm sure, get sorted out. With the other end of the extreme, people who are fighting to try and get onto universal credits, I understand again. They can't get online these days because the website is crashing, and if they get onto a telephone line to talk to anybody, you know, they can't get through either. So, you know, people at all levels are finding it very difficult at the moment. Again, teething problems, and they'll have to do more, the government, to get that side of it sorted out. But I remain positive, and I think it's going to work out well. So, in the end, you know, it will. We're going to go through that rough patch, as the words of the Prime Minister were. It's going to get worse before it gets better, and I think after that we will be through it. So this video was just out to all my friends, family out there to say, hang in there, wherever you are in the world. Just keep taking the tablets. Talk to you again tomorrow. Cheers.